Paik and Charlotte Moorman, in hindsight, nearly 50 years away, were one of the most important projects that we did. How I met them is again very simple. They lived within a few hundred meters from Christo, and when Paik came to New York, he befriended Christo. Paik had a very interesting background. Born in Korea, educated in Japan, spent a lot of time in Germany, and initially his interests were in music. When Sony came up with the first video cameras, Paik started to play around with them. In those days, the first video cameras were big, bulky things that you had to support on your shoulder and were basically experimental. But he was fascinated by it, and he combined his interest of music in becoming what is acknowledged today the father of video art. He was part of the Fluxus movement, which encompassed everything from music to literature to visual arts, based mainly in Germany. But like every ambitious young contemporary artist, he had to relocate to New York, where he worked with John Cage, Yoko Ono, Rauschenberg after a while. So really the core of what is now regarded as the old masters of contemporary art. He teamed up with Charlotte Moorman, an American, who was a classically trained celloist from the Juilliard Music School. But she became also fascinated in the contemporary world. They did many projects together. Rather than just bringing out Paik, I sought to bring out Paik and Charlotte so that they could do a number of performances. They came to Sydney and they had an exhibition at the Art Gallery of New South Wales, where it was mainly Charlotte who was the performer, with works created by Paik. There were all sorts of variations on video, from the TV cello to TV bed to a TV bra, which I had to fit onto Charlotte every day during the performance. Paik created a TV garden where he set a number of TVs on the floor of the gallery and plants all around the TV. It was really a breakthrough. A different form of art was created. And Charlotte was a very daring performer. One of the works was an ice cello. In the shape of a real cello was a huge ice block that she played, holding it tight against her naked body till the ice melted. It must have been terribly painful. They were here at Easter time, and at Jenny Coventry's gallery, she was a chocolate Easter bunny. She was totally covered in chocolate, and so was the cello. It happened to be a hot Easter Sunday, and the chocolate kept melting and running down her face and body. But she also did some quite outrageous things, which you wouldn't get permission today. She climbed onto the roof of the art gallery and dangled the cello from a rope down the front of the gallery and tried to play the cello that way. Another work which created a lot of attention was Sky Kiss. In front of the opera house, dressed in a 19th century costume, she became airborne with helium balloons, and she hovered over the opera house while an amazed crowd gathered to watch her. I mean, these are projects that today you just couldn't get permission. We had no trouble. Everybody was safe and sound, and it was really an amazing sight. Charlotte unfortunately died after her trip to Australia, but Paik and I became good friends. He came back to Australia for a Sydney Biennale and went on to become a very well-known artist with major shows all around the world. He really was the father of video art, and a lot of great video artists trained under him.